I'm in tears, and I've been in tears. I just wanted to share this moment because, you know, one of the things that really transformed my life is feeling deep gratitude. You know, people keep talking about manifestation and things like that. I think it's one of these new age terms that can get very boring and overused. What I like to say is that like attracts like. So if you're a positive person, you kind of tend to repel negative people. They're gonna call you stuck up or something. They're gonna behave differently around you. I mean, people can always be toxic. Some people don't care, but being grateful has brought me so many good things in my life. And it's something that just intensifies over time, you know. What do you do when you feel so much love that it's overwhelming? You share it, right? You share it. It's funny because, like, a decade ago, I've been really depressed, and I've been depressed for years. There's always been my intuition telling me things, you know, and my intuition told me that there's like this can't be it, you know, when I was in this dark place, that this can't be it. My rational mind told me this is what I deserve and all of these bad things, you know, stemming from trauma and stuff, but my intuition told me that this is not it. And I was right. Because intuition never lies. I think all of us have this inner guidance, you know. Every time something's not working out, there's always been a reason. And even while I'm doing stuff, like sometimes I feel blocked. And every single time that happens, it points to the fact that this is not working somehow. You know, there has to be some tweakment because I used to live life on hard mode, on maximum difficulty level, and now I'm living life on easy mode. It's weird if you are a person who has like wounds from parents, you know, you have a dad wound, you have a mom wound, because you feel like you always have to do the most. You have to overcompensate, you have to prove yourself all the time, and it's extra painful if you're not able to do that. But I've just realized that if it's meant to be, it works, you know? Things that are meant to be, they just work out. I always thought like hope was for fools. Being positive was for fools. Not proud to admit that when I was younger, I used to look at people who are really happy, like just in general, they seem really happy. I looked at them and I thought that they're idiots. I'm not proud to admit that, but that's what I did. There was a point in my life I thought being negative is being realistic. And I know a lot of us do that. I thought believing that there's nothing like fate, destiny, purpose. I thought being nihilistic was the way. But it just fueled my anxiety, my depression, my feeling of emptiness. So I don't think it's a good thing, whether you believe in a God or not. Something that people don't want me to say is that I believe we are our own God. That gives you the ultimate responsibility, the ultimate power, to change your life. And funny thing, there was a process with this. Like for a few years I was more in my head, and then I really started to take action. And when you combine these two things, shifting your perspective plus taking action, then big shifts happen. The point of me even doing YouTube is to bring people who are already awake, who are already on the narrow path that most people don't walk, and they see the value in it, to kind of be a guide in a way with my own experience, with my own wisdom, because I needed that for many, many years. And then I started noticing that there's nothing new. I learned everything in a way. I mean, we never stop learning. I never stopped learning. But, from being completely sleeping, so to speak, in a spiritual sense, right, to awakened, it is a massive step where you just have no questions anymore. You still learn, but you have no questions anymore. I would have never thought that my life would be this good. There was a time I wanted to end myself. I can almost not believe it. I was hopeless. I don't even know what I should name this video. It's just, I don't know, I just thought of sharing this because I used to be so overthinking, anxious, depressed, and I just had the desire to change, and that was it. How simple things can be. And yeah, it led to things, right? It led to things I did, and I did cognitive behavioral therapy twice, but that was only 6 months, together, once a week. So not like that often if you think about being depressed for more than 5 years. It's not that much. It's not like typical talk therapy. Most of it I did by myself. And people want to tell you, like, if you're depressed for a long time, I was depressed for way longer than 5 years, but I'm just like thinking about the worst time. People want to tell you need, I almost don't want to say this, but like, you need medication and stuff like that. And me personally, I don't believe in that. I personally don't believe in that dependence. It can help you over a hard time, but you know what you're gonna do in the long term. That's what I was thinking to myself, so I never even started. I just wanted to get the proper solution. I didn't want any more coping because I already was coping. Like, we're all coping. But this desire to have my dreams fulfilled, and it's so crazy to say because I never really, I don't know, like I didn't really have much hope. I just was kind of fantasizing and dreaming, and I suppose that's what manifesting is. Like I literally wrote a book about the perfect love, about just things that I find interesting, and I'm just realizing it more and more in my life. I'm just actualizing it, and I never thought I was strong enough, you know. Oh, I was lucky. I was never lucky. I was never lucky at all. And the last 2, 3 years, since I made a very big decision, one was like 4 years ago, and the other was about 2.5 years ago. And then there was another one I did 6 months ago, I think. Every time I do it, you know, like I feel like there's something off. Like, for example, I used to smoke weed, and then I just felt really haunted, you know, like I felt weird things, evil things attached to me or attracted to me, and you know, you can understand this or not, it doesn't really matter. It was just not a good thing, and I just had, there was this moment where I had, like, you know, your body will talk to you, other signs will come, like, you know, people that are talking to you, attracted to you, where you're like, why am I talking to this type of person, you know, like, why are they talking to me? Why am I not talking to a person I really want to talk to? You know, why do I have to put up with some bad negative energy? Kind of lost my train of thought, but there was just so many signs that told me, oh yeah, I had this like a heart race, like a weird heart palpitation stuff going on as well. And I realized that even though I thought this weed would help my depression and anxiety, it actually made it worse. And it didn't feel like that though. Like, it didn't feel like it, right? It's a very strong coping mechanism, so it feels good when you cope. It feels good because you're distracting yourself. But I felt really bad, and there was just so many incidences where I'm like, I have to stop, and it was really hard. I tried stopping from years, and I couldn't, like, not in the long term. And now is the first time where every time I get tempted, I never give in. anymore. I never thought I could be like that. I had my inner guidance telling me that if I do stop, I'm gonna get something in return that I wouldn't want to trade anything for, and that's what happened. Love wins. Love wins. And love is everywhere. It's not just in one person. It does start with you, truly. The more you surround yourself with love, the more you attract love. The more you express love, the more you attract love. The more you live love, the more you attract love. Because you match it, you match it. My son said a very good quote today. He turned 6 years old. He said, sky is with sky. Rainbow is with rainbow. Yeah. It's all I think for now. So I just wanted to share this. And I'm not unique in these things, I think that's what gave me hope, is to watch other people talking about how they changed their lives. And it was never complicated. It was just like making big decisions, being real with yourself. So that's the kind of message I want to spread, and to encourage you and anybody else to be brave and to take your own power back, because you probably gave it to other people a long time ago. You gave it to society, you gave it to your parents, you gave it to bullies, you gave it to all kinds of people who don't deserve it at all. They don't deserve it. You should focus that energy back to you and start going into the direction of what you want, right? Like if you think it takes, let's say, few years, let's say 5 years it takes to have the life that you're really content with. I'm not talking about some grandiose, narcissistic nonsense fantasy. I'm talking about some actual contentment, just feeling like I feel now, for example. If you think that would take 5 years when you start, imagine delaying this for like 10, 20 years, and then you feel kind of like you pass your time or something and you will never even bother starting. I feel like that's what a lot of people do. So if it takes 5 years, why not start today? Why not start today, right? So yeah, that's it from me. Take care. Thanks for watching.